Good morning, boys and girls. This morning we are studying area of composite figures. So first I'm going to try to explain to you what a composite figure is. Okay, so the most important words I've underlined for you here. A composite figure is a larger figure that has two or more figures in it. And in order for you to calculate the area of a composite figure, you would have to decompose, which means break down. It's kind of here on the side. Okay, break down the figures into smaller parts. I'm going to show you what a composite figure looks like. This is what a composite figure looks like. So for those of you who are not able to figure it out, there's a couple of different ways you could cut this little shape here. You could slice it down this way and calculate the area of this part and then this part separately and then add the two together. Okay, so that's what it means to decompose. We're going to break it down so that we're not doing one big multiplication problem. If this piece was here, we wouldn't have to do that, right? Because we could just multiply 8 or whatever this side length would be, which would be 12 actually, 12 by whatever this would be. But we can't do that because this chunk is missing. So we have to break it down this way. It could also be broken down this way, but it's easier to break it down this way, and I'm going to explain why. Okay, and then we're going to find the area of the smaller shapes first. Okay, so I'm going to start with a figure that I felt was a little bit more reasonable for you to do. So we're looking at this shape right here. This is number 2 on page 799, and I'm going to break this shape here. Okay, because it's easier for me to calculate. So I have to find out what the area is of this shape and then what it is of this shape. And then I'm going to add them together. So let's do the easier problem first. You're multiplying, remember, length times width, that does not change. So it's going to be 10 times 4, which is going to give you 40 square feet. Okay, and then you're doing this shape right here, so it's okay for you to stick with this length, which is 8, which is 8, and then this section, which is 9. So it's 9 times 8, that's going to give you 72 square feet. And then you're just going to add the two together. So you have 2 and you have 11, 112 square feet. Okay, so that's how you calculate it. So remember, your hardest job is going to be to determine how you're going to break the shape down or how you're going to decompose it. If you did it this way, well, you don't have anything to help you to know what this would be. That becomes a little bit more of a complicated problem. Okay, and we are going to work some complicated problems right now for you so that you can kind of see what that looks like. I'm going to skip down here, number 5. Okay, so you might be looking at this problem saying, oh, this looks so super easy, but no, it's not. Okay, so I'm going to explain why it's not that simple like it looks. So you have a shape here, and then you have another one here. Okay, so you're trying to calculate what it would be total. So this is easy because these two numbers here are very easily calculable, or if that's even a word. So you can break it here. So 9 times 4, we're going to do first, which is going to be 36 square yards. Okay, that's this part. And then here you have 11 and 2. So that's one way to do it. Okay, so if you added them together, it'd be 36 and 22, which will give you 58 square yards. Okay, but I want to show you in a different color. There is another way to do this. Okay, instead of cutting it here, if I had gone down this way and done this separately and kept this together, how would I do it? Because that makes it a little bit complicated. Okay, but let's try to, I want to teach you how to do that because you will definitely see this in the 4th grade. So it's good for you to get a little taste of it. Okay, so here I can no longer, to figure out this part, do 4 times 9 because look at this, right? This is cut off. So how am I going to figure it out? Okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the opposite side. So if this is 2, then this is 2 also, right? Because we talked about that. The opposite sides are going to be equal length. Then this cannot be 9 anymore. So you'd have to do 9 minus 2, which would make this 7. You rename the side, okay? So now I'm ready to calculate over here, and I'll tell you, well, actually, no, I'm not ready. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. First, let me do this part. So here, it's going to be 7 times 4, okay? That's why it's in a different color. I'm showing you a different way to do it. So it's 28 square yards. And now, when I come here, I know this is 2. This is 2, right? But only this length is 11. That's not representative of this length. So what would this one be? Well, I have to come here and look at that 4, right? That 4 is telling me how much this side is. So if this side is 4, then this side is also 4. Let me label that. Okay, so 4 plus 11, because we know this part is 11. This is 4. So together, if I did this second solution, I would say that this is 15. Okay, so this one is a little more complicated. So 15 times 2, now I have it, that would be 30. Okay, so if I take that 30, so this is 30, and then this was 28. Notice I still get 58 square yards. I'm still getting that, okay? So either way I slice it, I'm getting it. But the second way I did it was a little bit more complicated, okay? As compared to if you were to just cut it here. So when you're deciding how to decompose this, you are gonna have to look at, well, which one's gonna be the easier way for me to go, okay? So starting out with the first day of decomposing figures and calculating area, I would pick the ones that are a little bit easier. So don't do the brown strategy. I wanted to teach it though, so you know how to do it, but do the easier one, which would be the green one, where you just did 9 times 4, the original problem, and you cut it here. See, the green, that was 1 cut. And then you just did 11 times 2. Okay, I hope that clarifies for you how to do this. Do not fly through this lesson. It will not work. You need to take your time. Okay, work the problems out. You have to decompose it. Show me where you're doing the cutting here. That's very important.